everybody. I am just delighted to be here with you this morning, and I want to thank Elliot Ferguson and the entire team at Destination DC. Give them a big round of applause. I know I can say for sure for myself and DC government that this has been 18 months like no other 18 months, and I know I can say that for the travel industry. So I want to thank you for sticking with us, hanging in there, continuing to focus on our fabulous destination and getting people traveling again. Because I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I've heard some of the outlook, and I feel good about that outlook, as you should. You should also know that we've been working very hard over these last 18 months so the DC that people are re-engaging and coming back to travel. They're going to find even more things to do and see, more places to stay, and certainly more people to meet. So I'm delighted to be here. We have, and I don't have to tell you this, before the pandemic hit, over 25 million visitors coming to Washington, D.C. And those visitors spent $8 billion in our city that supported 80,000 jobs. I frequently say, sometimes when we talk about travel and hospitality, it sounds like fun and games. But those are real jobs, real dollars, and real people. And the investment that travelers and meeting goers and conference goers make in our city each time helps us to support everything else that makes our city great, like transforming our public schools and creating opportunities for more Washingtonians and having one of the most robust investments in affordable housing anywhere in the United States of America. We know that many of the jobs that we create in leisure and hospitality are good-paying career jobs as well that will allow Washingtonians that Elliot is training in these programs to have a career for the rest of their lives. And so I couldn't be more proud of all of the industry gathered here and throughout D.C. who really innovated and pivoted and found a way to keep people employed and keep people on their payroll and are thinking creatively about how people are going to come back. My team at DC government, I'm also tremendously proud of. I think you've already heard from Deputy Mayor Falchicchio and his team, because we were able to create with our local dollars and with some federal emergency funds, relief programs that really made a difference, including $155 million in relief and recovery dollars for local businesses. I'm also proud to say that we're united in our city on this issue. Sometimes when people think of D.C., they think about fights all the time or political arguments. There is no argument about how we are going to invest in bringing hospitality and keeping our sector robust. I am also very grateful that industry has been able to adapt as we have to evolving public health guidance, including helping us focus on getting people vaccinated, which continues to be the only way that we're going to get over this pandemic, but also continuing to follow guidance around masks, especially in our indoor settings. We have discovered during this pandemic not all has been bad. Some lessons learned, for example, are giving us new destinations, like 350 streeteries that are now open across D.C. And that's a good thing. We've also found a way to loosen up, or shall I say, make more contemporary our alcohol laws, which are allowing more opportunities for entertainment. Those are not the only reasons we're optimistic about our comeback, but let's face it, people like to have fun. And then when you go around D.C. even now, you will see, even in probably places before the pandemic, are really activated by people who are going out to dinner, having lunch, having brunch, and enjoying their friends. This last couple of weeks has also demonstrated how pent up the demand is for fun. We have been out with a number of our local festivals, which we have found more ways to support financially to help them come back, including one that the district puts on called Art All Night. And Art All Night is literally that. For 2 days across all 8 wards, artists and makers demonstrated to the public what they do and how much they've missed seeing their fans and each other. From having go-go bands at our central library to dancers and painters in our new Central Park, that is Franklin Park, right in the heart of downtown D.C., to experiencing food from wonderful makers across the city. We just had an entirely good time with Art All Night. But it showed me something important, that D.C. residents are ready to get out, see each other, and how much they have missed live music and live performance and the things that make life colorful. And that is the same. The same is true for travel. I know our residents are different than people from around the world who are eager to get back to those experiences. So working with Elliot and his team, I'm happy to hear that there's going to be an international trip to promote our wonderful destination. We spend, and I spend a lot of time in my office as well, making sure that the environment is good here for people to come back, including in the new nonstop flights that connect destinations from around the world to Washington, D.C. Earlier this year, we launched the Experience D.C. marketing campaign to get people near and far back to Washington. And we know, and I've heard from Elliot, that the federal government is preparing to adjust our international travel restrictions to allow more fully vaccinated travelers back to the U.S. So again, we see that you play a role in public health. And that role is letting people know that there's more open to them around the world with vaccination. We also have locally in our toolbox, and Elliot has already mentioned how much the district wants to be behind the recovery. We know that that takes telling our story. No sense in keeping Washington, D.C. a secret, our great destinations, but also, and I think I've heard on this theme today, how focused we've been on saving lives in our city, making sure that we have a robust public health system that has kept people safe and out of the hospital, that we've met our national vaccine benchmarks, and we take the health of our residents and visitors very seriously. We know that that's a selling point to people as well. But we've invested $40 million in our hotels so that they can get over, weather this storm. $15 million in a vitality fund that will allow us to create more jobs and excitement in D.C. $5.5 million for our small business programs. We've heard just then, people around the world, of course, they want a big box experience sometimes, but they really want to know our neighborhoods and the small businesses and the unique businesses that makes us special. And we're also very committed, like Destination DC is, in investing in inclusive innovation to provide capital for our small businesses led by women and people of color. And when all of these investments come together, we know that our visitors to Washington will continue to enjoy a world-class experience. And you won't mind me saying, the best city in the world. Thank you all.